Before we dive into this incredible story, please hit that subscribe button and join our channel for more gripping tales like this one. Block 1. I'm a farmer, born and raised on this sprawling land under the wide, endless sky. Every morning, I wake to the rhythm of the earth, the scent of soil filling my lungs. My hands are calloused, my back strong from years of tilling fields. This land has been my family's for generations, passed down through stories and sweat. I've always felt a deep connection to it, like it speaks to me. 10 years ago, a child vanished from our small town, a mystery that haunted us all. Little Emma, with her bright eyes and infectious laugh, was gone. The town searched tirelessly, but no trace was ever found. I remember the posters, the candlelight vigils, the whispers of hope fading. My farm, though, remained my sanctuary, a place of quiet amidst the chaos. The day it happened started like any other, with the sun creeping over the horizon. I was out early, checking the crops, my boots sinking into the dewy earth. The air was crisp, carrying the promise of a good harvest. I'd been working the same fields for decades, knowing every inch by heart. That morning, though, something felt different, like a faint hum in the air. I brushed it off, thinking it was just the wind or my imagination. As I walked the rows of corn, I noticed a patch that seemed disturbed. The stalks were bent, the soil uneven, as if someone had been there. Curiosity tugged at me, urging me to investigate. I pushed through the corn, my heart beating a little faster. Deep in the field, I found a small clearing I'd never seen before. It was odd, unnatural, like the land had shifted overnight. In the center, there was a bundle of rags, or so I thought at first. As I got closer, my breath caught. It wasn't rags, but a child, curled up and shivering. Her hair was matted, her clothes tattered, but her face was unmistakable. It was Emma, the girl who'd vanished a decade ago. I knelt beside her, my hands trembling as I checked for a pulse. She was alive, weak but breathing, her eyes fluttering open. I whispered her name, and she looked at me, confused but alive. The weight of that moment pressed down on me, heavy with disbelief. I carried Emma gently, her frail body light in my arms, and ran toward the farmhouse. My mind raced with questions. How had she survived? Where had she been? The town had given up hope years ago, yet here she was. I called the sheriff as soon as I got inside, my voice shaking. Emma was too weak to speak, but her presence was a miracle. I wrapped her in a blanket, gave her water, and waited for help. The sheriff arrived quickly, his face pale with shock when he saw her. Word spread like wildfire, and soon the house was filled with people. Emma's parents wept, clutching her as if she might vanish again. I stood back, my heart full but my mind reeling. The story of Emma's return became the talk of the town, then the country. News vans parked along my fields, reporters clamoring for interviews. I didn't want the attention, I just wanted answers. Emma was taken to the hospital, where doctors marveled at her condition. She was malnourished but otherwise unharmed, a mystery in itself. I kept to my farm, trying to make sense of it all. People called me a hero, but I didn't feel like one. I'd just been in the right place at the right time. Still, the town wouldn't let it go. They needed someone to celebrate, and I was it. The weight of their gratitude was overwhelming. A few weeks later, a strange letter arrived at my farmhouse. It was heavy, sealed with wax, and bore no return address. Inside was an invitation to a private ceremony in the city. The letter spoke of a reward for my act of valor in finding Emma. I was skeptical, rewards weren't my thing, but curiosity got the better of me. The ceremony was held in a grand hall, filled with people I didn't know. They clapped as I entered, their eyes fixed on me. I felt out of place, a farmer among suits and ties. Then they revealed the reward, 10 gold bars, gleaming under the lights. My jaw dropped. I'd never seen such wealth. The gold bars were heavy, each one a fortune in itself. They said it was a gift from an anonymous benefactor, someone moved by Emma's story. I didn't know what to say or think. My life had been simple, grounded in the earth. Now, I was holding wealth beyond my wildest dreams. The crowd cheered, but I felt uneasy. What did this mean for me, for my farm? I thanked them quietly and left, the bars stowed in a secure case. Driving home, I thought about Emma, about how her return had changed everything. The gold was a blessing, but it came with questions. Who had sent it? Why me? Back at the farm, I hid the gold in a safe, unsure what to do with it. The town was still buzzing with Emma's return, and I couldn't escape the attention. People stopped by daily, bringing gifts, asking questions. Some wanted to know where I'd found her, as if I'd uncovered some secret. I told them the truth. I didn't know how she'd ended up in my field. The police were investigating, but there were no leads. Emma herself couldn't remember much, her memories fragmented. I tried to focus on my work, but the gold and the mystery weighed on me. Life wasn't simple anymore. Emma's parents invited me to their home, wanting to thank me personally. Sitting in their living room, I saw pictures of Emma from before she vanished. They told me how they'd never given up hope, even when others had. They hugged me, tears in their eyes, calling me their miracle. I didn't know how to respond. I was just a farmer who'd stumbled across her. They asked about the gold, curious but kind. I admitted I hadn't decided what to do with it. They suggested donating some to charity, an idea that resonated with me. That night, I lay awake, thinking about purpose and chance. The gold felt like a responsibility now. The seasons changed, and the farm demanded my attention, grounding me. I planted new crops, tended to the old ones, and found peace in the routine. But the gold bars stayed in my mind, a constant reminder of that day. I started researching charities, ones that helped missing children and struggling farmers. The idea of giving back felt right, like a way to honor Emma's return. I kept one gold bar for my farm, to secure its future. The rest, I decided, would go to those in need. It wasn't about being a hero, it was about doing what felt just. The town still called me a hero, but I was just me, a farmer with a story. As spring turned to summer, the farm flourished, but so did the rumors. People whispered about the gold, about where it came from. Some said it was a government reward, others claimed it was from a secret society. I ignored the gossip, focusing on my fields and the donations I'd started making. The charities were grateful, and their work inspired me. I visited Emma at the hospital, where she was recovering slowly. She smiled when she saw me, a small but genuine smile. Her parents said she was starting to talk more, piecing together her past. I didn't press her for details, I just wanted her to heal. The mystery of her survival lingered, unanswered. One evening, a stranger appeared at my gate, dressed in a sharp suit. He introduced himself as a lawyer representing the anonymous benefactor. He wanted to ensure the gold was delivered correctly, he said. His questions were polite but probing, as if he knew more than he let on. I answered honestly, feeling uneasy under his gaze. He left without revealing much, only saying the benefactor was pleased. That night, I checked the safe, counting the gold bars again. They were all there, heavy and real. The lawyer's visit left me unsettled, like I was part of a bigger puzzle. I just wanted to farm, to live simply. The town organized a festival to celebrate Emma's return, and they insisted I attend. I wasn't one for crowds, but I went for Emma's sake. The festival was lively, with music, food, and laughter filling the air. Emma was there, looking stronger, her parents beaming beside her. People shook my hand, thanked me, and some even asked about the gold. I smiled and deflected, keeping my plans private. During the festival, a local reporter cornered me, asking for my story. I told her I was no hero, just a farmer who got lucky. She wrote it down, but I could tell she wanted more. The truth was, I didn't have more to give. The donations I made started making waves, with news outlets picking up the story. They called me the Golden Farmer, a nickname I hated. I didn't want fame. I wanted to help. The charities sent letters, detailing how the funds were saving lives. One built a shelter for missing children, another supported struggling farmers like me. I felt proud but also exposed, like the world was watching. Emma's recovery was progressing, and she started visiting my farm. She loved the open fields, the animals, the quiet. I taught her how to plant seeds, and her laughter warmed my heart. It felt like a small victory amidst the chaos. The lawyer returned, this time with a contract. He said the benefactor wanted to meet me, but only if I signed a non-disclosure agreement. I read the contract carefully, my instincts screaming caution. It promised more rewards but demanded silence about the gold's origins. I refused to sign, telling him I didn't need more. He left, visibly frustrated, and I wondered what I'd gotten myself into. The gold was a blessing, but it came with strings I couldn't see. I locked the contract away, next to the gold bars. My farm was my focus, my anchor. I wouldn't let this change who I was. Emma started sharing fragments of her story, though they were vague. She spoke of a place with tall walls, of voices she didn't recognize. The police listened closely, but her memories were too jumbled to follow. I stayed out of it, letting the experts handle it. Instead, I focused on teaching Emma about the farm. She was curious, asking about crops and animals. One day, she pointed to the clearing where I'd found her. She didn't remember being there, but she felt safe on my land. I wondered if the farm had called to her, like it did to me. The thought gave me chills, but I kept it to myself. The gold's origins remained a mystery, and I stopped trying to solve it. I donated most of it, keeping only what I needed. The farm was thriving, with new equipment and better crops. I hired a few hands to help, local folks who needed work. The town respected my privacy more now, the excitement fading. Emma's visits became regular, and she started calling me Uncle. It felt good, like family. Her parents were grateful, and we grew close. I didn't need the world's praise. I had this small, meaningful connection. The gold had changed my life, but not my heart. One night, I found an old journal in the farmhouse attic, written by my grandfather. It spoke of the land, of its secrets and stories. He wrote about a time when the farm had saved someone, a lost soul who wandered in. The parallels to Emma's story struck me hard. Was this land special, somehow meant to protect? I didn't believe in magic, but I couldn't deny the coincidence. I read the journal late into the night, searching for clues. It didn't mention gold, but it spoke of purpose. I felt a renewed sense of duty to my farm, to Emma. The media frenzy died down, but the town never forgot. They erected a small plaque near my gate, honoring my heroism. I cringed at the word but let it stay. Emma was back in school, slowly rebuilding her life. She still visited, bringing drawings of the farm. One showed me standing in the clearing, a golden glow around me. I laughed, but it touched me deeply. I framed it and hung it in the farmhouse. The gold bars were mostly gone now, their value spread across charities and my land. I didn't miss them, they'd served their purpose. Life was settling, but the mystery lingered. I started writing my own journal, documenting the farm and Emma's story. I wanted my children, if I ever had any, to know this land's legacy. The clearing where I found Emma became a special place, a quiet spot for reflection. I planted wildflowers there, a tribute to her survival. Emma helped, her small hands patting the soil. We didn't talk about the past. We focused on the present. The farm felt alive, like it was part of this miracle. The gold, the lawyer, the questions, they faded into the background. What mattered was the land, Emma, and the life we were building. Autumn arrived, painting the fields in hues of gold and red. The farm was at its peak, the harvest bountiful. Emma's recovery was steady, and she was thriving in school. Her parents invited me to her birthday, her first since her return. The party was small, intimate, filled with love. Emma gave me a handmade card, calling me her hero. I choked up, unable to hide my emotions. The town had moved on, but this moment was ours. I realized the gold wasn't the reward. This was. The connection, the healing, the hope. It was worth more than any fortune. I left the party with a full heart. The lawyer never returned, and I was glad. The contract sat untouched in my safe, a reminder of unanswered questions. I didn't care anymore. I had my farm, my purpose. The donations had made a difference, and I got letters from families helped by the funds. One child, reunited with her parents, wrote to thank me. I kept her letter next to Emma's drawing. The farm was my legacy, but so was this impact. I started mentoring local kids, teaching them about farming. Emma joined in, her confidence growing. The land was healing us all, in its quiet way. Winter brought snow, blanketing the fields in silence. I spent long evenings by the fire, reading my grandfather's journal. His words about the land's secrets felt truer now. I wondered if Emma's appearance was part of some greater plan. I wasn't religious, but I felt something bigger at work. The clearing remained untouched by snow, as if protected. I visited it often, feeling a strange peace there. Emma came too, leaving small offerings of flowers. We didn't speak of it, but we both felt the land's pull. The gold was a footnote now, a means to an end. The police closed Emma's case, unable to explain her survival. They found no evidence of foul play, just a miracle. I accepted that some things were beyond understanding. Emma was writing her own story now, strong and bright. She wanted to be a farmer one day, she said. I laughed, promising to teach her everything I knew. The town was quieter now, the frenzy long gone. My farm was just a farm again, but it felt different. It was a place of miracles, of second chances. I was proud to be its steward, to carry its story forward. I used the last gold bar to build a community center on the edge of my land. It was a place for kids, for families, for healing. Emma helped design it, her ideas bold and creative. We opened it in spring, with the town gathered to celebrate. They didn't call me a hero anymore, and I was grateful. I was just a farmer, doing what I could. The center became a hub, a place where people found hope. Emma's parents volunteered there, and Emma led gardening workshops. The land's legacy was growing, reaching beyond my fields. I felt my grandfather's pride, somewhere in the ether. The clearing became a pilgrimage site for some, a place of wonder. I didn't encourage it, but I didn't stop it either. People left flowers, notes, tokens of gratitude. Emma and I tended to it, keeping it simple. She was almost back to her old self, though the lost years lingered in her eyes. I taught her about the seasons, about patience and growth. She soaked it up, her spirit resilient. The farm was her home too now, in a way. The gold had brought attention, but the land brought healing. I was content, my purpose clear. One day, a package arrived, unmarked but heavy. Inside was a single gold bar, identical to the others. A note read, "For the farmer who listens to the land." No signature, no explanation. I stared at it, my heart pounding. The mystery was back, but I wasn't afraid. I donated the bar to the community center, keeping no secrets. The town didn't need to know. They had their miracle. I locked the note away, a final piece of the puzzle. The farm was enough, its rhythm my guide. I didn't need answers to feel whole. Emma graduated high school, a milestone we all celebrated. She spoke at the ceremony, thanking me in front of everyone. I blushed, waving it off, but her words stayed with me. She was heading to college, studying agriculture. I gave her my grandfather's journal, a gift for her journey. She hugged me, promising to return. The farm felt quieter without her, but her presence lingered. The community center thrived, a testament to the gold's legacy. I walked the fields daily, feeling the land's heartbeat. It was my home, my story, my truth. Years passed, and the farm grew stronger, a beacon of hope. Emma visited when she could, bringing stories of her studies. She was becoming a farmer, just as she'd promised. The clearing remained, wildflowers blooming year-round. People still came, leaving their offerings. I didn't question it anymore. I accepted it. The gold, the mystery, the miracle, they were part of the land's story. I was just its keeper, a farmer with a purpose. The world moved on, but my field stayed timeless. I was grateful for every moment, every lesson. Now, as I stand in the clearing, I feel the weight of it all. The land, Emma, the gold, it's a story I'll never fully understand. I'm older now, my hands more weathered, but the farm keeps me young. Emma's a farmer too, working her own land nearby. The community center is a cornerstone, a place of light. The gold bars are gone, their value spread far and wide. I don't need them. I have the land. It speaks to me still, whispering of miracles and purpose. I listen, as I always have. This is my story, and I'm proud to tell it. If you were moved by this story, please subscribe to our channel for more tales of hope and humanity. Your support keeps these stories alive.